Hello and welcome back to DMV Rivals Summer 2023. Today we are having our third match day. I'm joined by casters Chayman, uh,
Hello,
and
good to be here.
supposedly we're supposed to have a third caster, but he has not arrived, I'm guessing. But today we do have an exciting matchup, um, and then it will be between, let's see, between the teams Conjoined Twins versus Too Many Laners, or Two Mid Laners, sorry. So just going down the top to bottom, we got Camper on duty, Carnper on duty in the jungle, No Size Matters, Habibi Papi, and then Habibi King in the support. And then on the right side, on the red side, we have Euphonia in the top lane, Babbles in the jungle, Hoptech as the mid laner, Rags the Boss as the ADC, and Autumn as the support. Obviously, these roles can change, but in general, this is what we expect to see. So I guess James or Chayman, you have any particular players you're looking towards, sort of if their carry potential or anything like that?
Well, Hoptech is definitely known for playing these carry champions in the mid lane. Uh, he was also picked first for his team, but I think he and Rags to Boss are the main focus, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of bottom lane focus here, especially against Habibi Poppy and Habibi King, as they tend to also play together a lot, quite a bit.
Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty excited to see some of them. I know Hoptech in particular has very much pumped up the hype around Rags to Boss. He's been saying he's been a fantastic player, so I'm excited to see him as well. This is not the first time that they've played the game, or not played the game. There's not their first match. They
I
did
hope so.
beat AOT yesterday, and so today they're versing Conjoined Twins. Conjoined Twins still looking to get that one first win. Uh, as well, they also ended up losing to PPP yesterday, and so we'll have to see what both teams end up sort of pulling out today and seeing if they can get the victory over the other.
I'm
Yeah,
excited. Yeah.
we can continue.
I was gonna just say that one thing that I'd like to watch out for is Babbles. He's got a lot of interesting picks that I'm interested to see what he pulls out. I know Iron hasn't been nerfed yet, and not to like scrims, but I don't know. There's a lot of interesting picks that I've seen him pull out, and it's definitely something to watch out for.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm guessing we can probably move towards the draft and see if we get those interesting picks. Oh. Small delays, that's all right.
Classic.
Well, we'll see if the okay, there we go. Finally,
Oh,
it
there
showed
it is.
up. All right. Well, it seems as though as long as both teams are ready, we can get rolling. Yeah, are there any of those particular picks that you're looking at? You mentioned Babbles has like this champion pool that could be kind of annoying.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely saw him play a lot of Ivern. That's something that's been floating around. Very strong pick on this patch. Besides the Ivern, I'm not too sure, but I mean, I don't want to leak any stream results or anything, but yeah, just a lot of different jungle champs that maybe aren't currently meta, but definitely have a their own niche, and he seems to have a lot of those in the back pocket. But
Yeah, makes sense. What about you, Jay, man? Anything you're looking towards that as well?
I'm looking, like I said before, the bottom lanes. I mean, BB Poppy and BB King, they don't think they had the best performances yesterday. So I just want to see them improve and, maybe they get their first win. Because, I like the tournament to be competitive rather than just a complete stomp.
Yeah, I always like to see Habibi getting on one of those hyper carries like Zeri or champions that have been really prevalent, or maybe potentially like a Milio Jinx. But it depends also on what Habibi King plays as well. And then Max, you also mentioned the Ivern on the side of Babbles.
definitely.
We didn't actually see it yesterday. We did see his cane. Um,
Oh, there's the game pick. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, interestingly, the Ivern was actually left unbanned, so it could definitely be an option for the side of TML.
Actually, because I seem to remember a raw Lucian pick yesterday. I know it was to take it away from the enemy team. They think they had like an enchanter of some sort. But I mean, with the way that the patches are going, next patch Lucian probably goes up as well. I wonder where Lucian's gonna fall in this draft.
Yeah, they're making him a bit more accessible with melee supports. It looks like the draft has started, and we get that classic Poppy ban. I think that's just a given based off of Euphonia's playstyle or champion pool as well. And then in response, we have the Akali ban. So this is interesting because we know that No Size Matters is actually an Akali main, as mentioned in the cast yesterday. And so they're immediately giving that respect ban over towards him. And then we have a
Respect goes
Xayah
both
ban.
ways.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the Xayah ban? That's interesting.
I feel like Xayah is not in a great spot, but she's one of the more blind pickable ADCs. Now the ban's going fast now.
Yeah,
The
this is
Zeri
interesting.
ban, I love to see. Yumi Zeri and
Milio, yep, all gone.
Alright, but the Lucian is open, so I'm curious if either teams takes that. But yeah, Ori's getting those bans towards Comfort. It looks like as though TML was running a bunch of Xayah Yumi. So they banned both the champions away, and then on the other side, Zeri and Milio targeting Habibi Puppy and Habibi King in the bot lane, making sure they can't go access to those meta picks. But now we see that Ivern. Okay, that's exciting.
Classic first pick Ivern.
Oh, I'd love to see Daisy just smack people.
Yeah, I'd love to see if we're going Ivern. I'd want to see what I think a Jinx on 2 here into maybe somewhere that can defend her depending on the counter pick.
Nah. Alright,
Yeah, I
well,
have no idea if does Daisy proc Braum hits?
does Daisy proc
I
what?
don't believe so. Braum passive.
I am not sure.
There's been a bunch of Braum floating about. Some pros have been saying it's good, some are saying it's bad. So I was wondering, maybe you could do like a Jinx Braum counter pick. Oh, never mind. Top pick instead. Gragas.
Oh yeah, this is definitely interesting considering how bot-centric the meta is right now, especially early phase draft. So we see the Ivern being locked in, and junglers are commonly picked early on, but interestingly, we get the Kanan response. I guess that mostly tries to farm up in scale. And then Gragas, obviously, Euphonia is very proficient at after the Poppy is banned away. So that's usually one of their staple pocket picks go towards. But we are now starting to see some of those bot lane picks being taken. In this case, with the Aphelios being matched with the Ivern.
Yeah, I like to do those here.
Oh,
A Tarek blind pick is very spicy.
okay, that would
I
be very
was
spicy.
okay. I was gonna say Braun does look very good here because it just kind of denies Gragas trying to go in alt
Yeah, I
solo in
mean,
the
I
back.
I love Braum, but I think Braum with Aphelios isn't the move, so they lock in Thresh instead.
Yeah, I kind of like this just off of what we've seen from their playstyle. It seems as though they do want to just basically enable Habibi Puppy to basically push forward without any kind of resistance. And then now they're giving him the Thresh, so that gives him a lot more accessibility inside of the game, inside of laning phase, making sure you can get lanterned away just in case they get ganked. And additionally, you have the Iron Shields, the Daisy kind of acting as a front line, and they're really enabling Habibi Puppy here.
Yeah, they do pick up the Nami here before. I'm wondering they're probably gonna ban the
Range Nami on
Lucian.
3. Lucian's gonna get banned away here, so I wonder what's the.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm a bit confused as well. Maybe they have something up their sleeve. I think, as you mentioned,
maybe
the
they just
Lucian.
don't need the. They just don't think they need
I'm
Lucian Nami. Yeah.
expecting maybe an Ezreal pick here instead, if that's the move. There's not really great options here into Aphelios. Ezreal's one, and then what? Draven Kaiser are self counter picks. I could see like a Caitlyn, but even that's not a great matchup.
Yeah.
I think they've kind of put themselves in a little bit of a pickle. I could see a Varus. Varus would do well here. Maybe Lethality Varus with Nami.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's good into Aphelios, but at the same time, just because you're picking Varus, Nami is pretty vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one trade-off there. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, traditionally you'd pick something like Draven here, but that just is not a recipe for success into this game, and specifically in these matchups. So
yeah, as the ban phase keeps on going, looks like they ban away Scion and Malphite on the side of TML, taking away those tank picks. They're afraid of, in this case, Camper on duty, choosing one of those. Obviously, he played the Malphite yesterday. And then on the other side, the Lucian ban, obviously respectful for the Nami. And then Azir, banning away from Hoptech. He's well known for that pick by himself. Oh,
Nice.
okay, I don't know how
Okay.
you feel about this, but I think
So this is
Kaisa
one of the
Nami.
hardest matchups in the game. Just straight up, like it's like one of the worst self counter picks possible. A lot of Kaisa matchups into like large range matchups, let's say like Caitlyn or Jinx, are dependent on like level 6 or having engaged support. In this case, he has no engaged support and also loses at level 6. That's the downside of the Aphelios matchup. And the upside is if he takes exhaust and flashes on them level 1, he wins.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I think this is definitely a very weird pairing. Kaisa usually often paired with, as you mentioned, with tank supports like Nautilus. Those just have a bunch of hard CC to be able to proc that passive. In this case, maybe, I don't know, maybe they've practiced with this before, but they do at least have the Gragas and possibly a Red Cane to enable the Kaisa. But yeah, CT, they're picking a very front to back heavy comp. You see the Victor and Or now being paired. And that just allows them just to team fight, basically go for those 5-man plays where they can just push forward, press their ultimates, and then kind of just kite, push and pull back and forth. And in response, TML is looking for their mid laner themselves, and Hoptech's looking to counterpick with the Syndra. Um, yeah, I don't know. Overall, interesting draft on the side of TML. I guess I'll ask you two first. Just thoughts on both teams' drafts. How you expect the game to go out from early to
You can go
late.
first, James. You can go first, James.
I don't really know if they're gonna kill Ornn too well, honestly, because he kills like Merctrez and there's a lot of magic damage on the main team. I'm assuming it's gonna be red. Right? It will just be blue cane. Even then, I mean, Ornn seems like he's unkillable, so they really need to set up for flanks and have good vision down. I think in order to do these fights. Well,
Yeah, I think I honestly kind of agree with that. I feel like, well, looking at the lane spread here, it's probably going to be a ball lane focus from both junglers. The problem with that, I believe, is that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Kane doesn't like beat up Ornn early game. So yeah, I mean, unless something horribly wrong happens, I think bot lane's gonna win, and I think through that the other lanes are just gonna be pulled up by their bootstraps, right? Like mid lane's farming, top lane's farming, so or
Yeah,
win for CT, excuse me.
yeah, I'd have to agree. Obviously the top lane matchup is just Ornn versus Gragas. You don't really want to pay attention too much there. If a top laner so kills the other, it's actually be pretty unexpected. Same with the mid lane, Victor versus Syndra. With jungle, it can be a bit spicy. For example, if you burn an early flash, then you can easily lock down the other opponent with either like an Ivern Q into a Victor W, and on the other side, similarly, the Syndra stun can enable the Kayn. But yeah, I do think it'll just be a bot-centric game, given the fact that TML has a Kaisa Nami. I would be looking, if I was Babbles, to basically go pressure down there and make sure you can burn their flashes. And then if you do get their flash, then obviously you can go for some of those like Thresh Flash plays or Thresh Flash Lantern, and then try
Yeah.
to make use of the Kaisa Nami weakness early on, or the Kaisa weakness early on.
Honestly, like full honesty, I think if I were TML here, I would call for Gragas to take TP and start bot lane because I cannot see any other way of winning.
That might be a bit excessive.
But like I literally do not see another way of doing this. Like, okay, at the very minimum, Kaisa Nami has to not leash, and Aphelios Thresh have to leash. But you're not gonna leash an Ivern, so it's never gonna happen. So, like, I mean, level 1, it's just basically Nami's gonna have to 1v2 the Aphelios Thresh, basically. And if they play it right, if they space properly, Kaisa's not gonna get XP level 1, because both of them are not gonna leash. So there's like no way to salvage the situation unless you flip it off of an invade, or Gragas comes bot level 1, or something along these lines. It's just like not fair, basically. Like best case scenario, Kaisa walks up, eats 3, maybe 4 autos for free, and then gets an auto queue off. Like it's just so disastrous without the team intervening here.
Yeah, I agree. You also have to worry about the Aphelios Gravitum possibly
Yeah,
around level
later on.
3.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's not completely doom and gloom for the side of TML. Uh,
Oh yeah,
uh,
no, they have a lot of playmaking in the mid game, so I mean that's where I hope to see them shine, right? But
Yeah, a lot of pick. So I
yeah,
mean,
a
they
lot
have
of pick
Gragas
potential.
cast
Yeah,
and like Cinder E or QE, and
yeah, but getting there is going to be
obviously
a big issue. I think that's the
Shadow Kane
problem.
as well. Obviously, can always just be a problem if he gets
Oh
really
yeah,
far ahead in the early game. I mean, yeah, if Kane gets fed, I mean, I don't know how much they can really do as
I mean
well.
anything is possible if Kane is fed, right?
Yeah.
Anything is possible.
yeah, I was
He just
gonna
needs to
say
be
I'm
fed.
looking to Babbles to see if he can somehow carry on this Kane. The fact that they first picked it in response to the Iron, I feel like their team just has a bunch of trust in him, and then maybe two mid laners can get a lead off of that. Supposedly, um, I've heard from some people that he has been popping off on the Kane. Might be why they, for example, opted to pick it yesterday. Obviously didn't work
Yeah.
out, but maybe this game we'll see that change.
Mm. I am very excited for the Kane actually. I think the way the draft played out in the end, I think the Kane actually is amazing. Like his only really CC to worry about is the Thresh. Yeah, the other CC abilities from basically everyone else on the cast is more or less dodgeable or ultable, let's say. So even if he goes blue Kane and not red Kane, I think he is gonna have a great time. Like decent access to the back line. There's not really too much that the blue team can do to him here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, usually when you're playing Kane, you just want to avoid that hard CC. But in this case, it's only you're mostly worried about Thresh Q and Ivern Q. But
Yeah,
in both
exactly.
cases, Thresh Q has like a long windup. You can easily dodge if you're inside of a wall. And then same with the Ivern Q. Thresh Flay is a
Yeah,
bit more annoying. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty hard to manage on the side of conjoined twins if that Kane does get really far ahead.
exactly. Yeah, they're gonna have to pay very, very close attention. Thresh is gonna have to be hovering, hovering Aphelios, hovering Victor. It's gonna be pretty difficult for him. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see. Well, my hope for this game, besides the doom and gloom for the bot lane, I think, is that if we can see some really strong like vision in the mid game, um, using the pressure from the Kane and hopefully he's ahead, right? Pressure from the Kane, pressure from the Syndra, making sure that the team CT here cannot like walk away from their lanes. They got make sure that their vision is blacked out in the jungle, and then they can use that to look for like Gragas engages, Kane engages, stuff like that. I think that's where this game may end up falling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we get in the game soon. Should be. I don't know. What about the mid lane matchup? It seems like pretty nothing is gonna happen other than like jungle ganks. What I can tell.
Yeah, I mean, for control mage versus control mage, some people
Mm.
have different types of play styles. There are some players that prefer to just go completely aggressive on the Victor, like they'll take like the airy scorch type of runes to
Oh,
basically
I
try to
love
push the
that.
Syndra out of the lane. But some people might argue that in the long run, it's better to take more scaling runes, just because usually in those types of matchups you can't actually punish too hard as long as one person is playing somewhat passively.
Like a first rate gathering storm type of thing.
Yeah, that type of thing, exactly.
I see.
Yeah, I think Syndra in this case is obviously probably, given her rework, just wants to go for that type of playstyle as well. So it's mostly just kind of on the Victor to decide how he wants to play around the matchup. If he wants to be really aggressive and try to enable the Ivern to go like invade into the enemy jungle or walk down bottom. Um, but at the same time, it's understandable if he takes some of those more scaling runes, just make sure that his team in the mid game and late game, he's able to output a bunch of damage more than he could, and just taking the airy scorch runes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think I mean I'm not a mid lane player, but I personally would be in the favor of getting a little bit more prio early game. I think if he can keep track of the Kane, or even if he gets enough push, he can kind of fuck with the Kane on his camps. I think that's really important for this game. Keeping track of the Kane with an Ivern. Ivern has a strong potential to just invade and take your camps rapidly if you're not paying attention. And if he's able to keep track of Kane and maybe push him off some of the camps, it can turn the tempo pretty fast, I think.
Yeah, I mean, figuring out where the Kane is always just makes the enemy's jungler's life a living hell, and that can just throw the whole entire team off. So
Yep.
I'd say I agree with that. I mean, I'd say a lot of times just fucking with the opponents is just kind of
A good thing,
It's
right?
like even if it may not be like the best thing, like if you look out, zoom out or whatever, but it's still like I think mental game obviously always plays a part in
Yeah.
these, which never really gets stated, or it doesn't really can't really get stated in game, like in
So
game.
both, I'd like to point out that both bot lanes took cleanse. Uh, if I was Aphelios, I would say that the cleanse is respect because you expect Kaisa to take exhaust, but knowing BB Poppy is probably just a cleanse because he wants cleanse.
Oh yeah,
Um,
there's Nami vulnerable and Syndra stun. So I mean, that's Syndra stun is basically. I feel like
Cinder
Nami
Stun is pretty
bubble.
important,
Yeah,
but Nami Bubble is very hard to hit. Um,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, again, if I was Aphelios, I could see cleanse because you respond to Kaisa exhaust. If I was Kaisa, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised by the Kaisa cleanse. If anything, this is something that's
I mean, it's like just Thresh basically, right? Thresh and Ivern.
it's Thresh and Ivern, and maybe you're unlucky you walk into Victor W.
I mean, yeah, just the CC chain in general, like Thresh into Ivern and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what'd you say are the other options then?
Well, so typically in hard matchups like this, where Kaisa um basically can't do anything early game, she'll either go Ghost or Exhaust. Um, Ghost is just to help in the all in. Well, they're both to help in the all in, but in two different ways. Ghost is the pre-level 6. If a fight happens, like you say in the jungle or in your lane, and you need to make something out of it, because if you don't, you'll start bleeding a lot of CS. Then you need to take Ghost for that. And then Exhaust is obviously jungle fights are one thing, but in the mid game when you're level 6, you can ult on somebody, exhaust them, and you guarantee win that fight.
Okay, we have some interesting stuff going on here. It seems as though the side of too many mids, or sorry, two mid laners. I need to update the graphics. Oopsies. Is stacking in this bush, but they're not exactly moving forward, so maybe they're expecting an invade with a Thresh.
Yeah,
Yeah. They're trying to get
I mean,
some cheeky first blood gold, but
I'd like them to play actually more cheeky than this. I feel like they're still too passive, considering how their team comp is. But I mean, it looks like pretty standard spread. The Kane will be seen on that ward though, which is really bad.
is the Conqueror normal for Aphelios, or is that
Yeah, Conquer is pretty normal. Yeah.
okay?
The rune page is Conquer, Overheal, Lifesteal, either Cut Down or Coup de Grace, and then double scaling runes. The typical Korean like scaling Aphelios build right now.
So far we have some pretty normal starts, but one thing I want to mention is the iron pathing. This is something that's a bit unique to this champion. So in this case, it seems as though Karnper on duty is actually starting in the top side, and then he's taking his camps on the bot side. If you do your Iron clear properly, then you can actually clear all your camps by around 310. And so in this
Wow.
case, you can see he's coming up from the Gromp, down to the bot lane, and he's now going back to his Gromp.
Yeah, the bot lane for red team did try to fake a leash. I don't know, cause the Kane started on his red buff or his Raptors, and they still pretended that they did. So I mean, maybe they can try to get a cheeky gank off that way. But they did, by doing that, they do get out push level 1 and they lose level 2 and all that stuff. So
Yeah, I mean, either it was that or they're waiting for the wave. I don't know either way. I mean, if I was them, they did the stack anyways. It was rough either way.
Alright, we do have a pretty early Iron clear going down bot side. He did skip his Gromp. But you can see he's down here around 3 minutes. He's now going to look to invade probably into the Kane, get some vision. But instead it looks like he's going to path mid, see if maybe he can get a gank onto Hop Tech in the mid lane.
I mean,
So they have a small time right here
Look
before the wave
possible.
crashes, so they're going for it, and looks like
nice
they weren't
done.
able to land the Iron Q.
Yeah, I would like to. He did get Hot Tech did get stunned, so I guess they couldn't really slow him into the snare, but it was still applied. It does push Kane off the bottom crab, so he has to run to the top side. But yeah, nothing too much there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to see more pressure exerted here from the Ivern onto the bot lane. I think he's gonna go for a reset and go for clear more, but I think it's okay.
Yeah, it looks like we have a pretty passive start so far. Both junglers just trading
Yeah.
crabs. It's probably kind of what I expect from both teams' comps, kind of just wanting to scale up and get into mid game, see what they can do. Both teams can't do too much early game. Looks like we do have a gank coming into the top side. Babbles is up here. Camper on duty, he's trying to run away, but so far all the abilities are landing onto him, but he just tanks right through it.
I think he's just there for the
He
form,
does have
honestly.
he does have coal, which is kind of strange, I would say, from the Ornn.
He does, yeah. That is
Hey, just
some innovation right there. I like it though. I mean, it kind of makes sense given the tank versus tank matchup.
yeah.
Well, I guess if you consider Gragas a tank, he's probably gonna go AP.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be AP Gragas from the looks of things with phase rush and all that, but yeah, maybe he's still just not afraid anyway. It still just builds a Negatron cloak and then he thinks he's fine. But yeah, I mean, I guess they're just trying to look to scale, which is I don't know, and they're just trying to play back on the top side and just focus everything on bot. It seems like it's going as planned right now.
I mean, I feel like if top lane is calling don't come top and bot lane is calling don't come bot and mid lane is Victor Syndra, surely Ivern is just stuck in limbo, right? Like,
Looks like he wanted to try to go for those ganks, but unfortunately it didn't work out in either bot lane or mid lane. But yeah, one thing I'm kind of surprised by is bot lane CS is actually kind of pretty close. We actually saw Rags to Boss in Autumn. They ended up getting a reset before Habib Poppy and Habib King. So far the lane for them is actually going a lot better than expected.
yeah, definitely.
Kai's getting the nuke anyway.
Definitely a lot better than expected. I think I mean, with directed camera, it's hard to see exactly what's going on. I saw some early trades, but I feel like the blue team here wasn't pressing the lead as much as they could have with their range advantage and their level 1 strength. Especially with their Ivern coming bot side as well to match the game.
Yeah, I like what Babbles just did here, by the way. This is before his reset, but essentially he knew that Ivern started from topside with the marks, so he ended up invading into his Gromp, taking both the Wolves and the Gromp. And now he just returns back to his bot side. He's able to continue his farm lead. But yeah, we do see Carnper on duty going towards the top side, but looks like Euphony will just E away and nothing will happen.
Yeah, Kane is also quite scary when he starts getting small leads like this.
He
can
didn't
really
leave,
snowball them.
but they are both level.
Yeah, level 6 on Ornn. We'll see if they can go in, but once again, Euphonia just dodges it with the E. Yeah, unfortunately, they weren't able to layer that CC that they wanted.
The Ornn ult does take a while to get the hard CC out. But yeah, it's still just nothing comes from it. Still no kills in this game. Maybe this might be the lowest kill DMV Rivals game ever, honestly.
Yeah.
Usually there's something by now.
Looks like Babbles wants to make it happen, but I think with the way the Autumn is positioning and walking forward past the minion wave, they might have sussed something out.
Definitely.
Yeah, but they do want to
And
crash this
even-
wave,
Wave's
so
in
it
a
looks
really
like
bad
Babbles
position.
will
They
go for
are
it
going
anyways.
for it.
They do have the Thresh Lantern. Nice
They
dodge
tried
onto
to
the
get the
bubble,
lantern.
and the Thresh ends up flaying Babbles away. 4 stacks on a BB, but once again, they were able to just outplay the
he
dive.
didn't auto. Damn. I honestly, to my knowledge, that was pretty. I mean, if they had heal, definitely they could turned it. No heal makes it harder, but I think if he just was autoing Kane there, he actually could have turned if they looked for a kill. His first auto was a blue gun. If he switched to purple and then autoed, the Kane would have had a hard time getting out with the flay and the hook ready to back it up.
A bit of a trade in the
Yeah,
middle.
we
There
got
is
a
stun
hook
coming out
onto
here.
Autumn. Autumn
Might be
turned pretty
dead.
low.
Flash.
No flash. There's the flash.
Oh, but Habib Poppy
Oh,
cancels
he
the
wasn't in
auto
range.
attack.
Canceled the auto.
Yeah.
Oh, that seemed like a bit of miscommunication
Well,
there.
here-
He
wait,
was
see,
walking away a bit
Ivor's
even
the dive,
after
Ivor's
us.
the dive. Ivor's coming.
Okay, looks like Carnper on duty. Goes for the flash Q, ends up landing onto Autumn, and looks like they might go for
Well,
Rex the
that's dead too,
boss.
right?
Yeah, we have to see Babbles might be able to make it in time, but I don't think so. Kabir King starts the
flashes
dive, and
in.
he goes for the ult. But unfortunately, the
Oh,
Iron
killing
Shield means that he
shields.
can't actually execute Habib Poppy, and that's a clean 2-person dive right there on the side of Conjoined Twins.
Yeah,
I mean,
Autumn
good-
just
good
walking a
try
little
from Rex
too
the
far
boss.
up after and she got, I believe it started with the Aphelios route, right? And then went into the hook.
Yep, into the hook. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
Got a
that's
little Antsy
That's the
there.
big danger of Nami, I think. A lot of enchanters have ways to self-heal. Nami is one of the ones who really doesn't. Like Nami and Lulu, those are like the big. You kind of have a target on your back. You have no way to get yourself out to safety. And they capitalize on it.
It looks like Babbles is going to start up the dragon here. In response to Ivan potentially clearing up topside, and the fact that they do have bot priority here. Looks like it'll be pretty free. So at least that's one
I think
thing
you
going
zoomed
for them.
in. Give me a treat.
Oh, what's up?
I think you zoomed in the camera.
Oh.
There you go.
Alright, well, it looks like Karmpa on duty once again is looking for
Ooh,
Euphonia.
cancel.
They hopefully will get the CC chain this time, but once again, Euphonia just flashes
Flashed
away from the
away.
Ornal. But Daisy is
He's
on the
following up,
chase.
yeah.
Karmpa on duty is able to land the Q, but the minions are in the way. And Euphonia once again exits out.
The the slow onto Daisy kind of saved him there, made it so the shield doesn't pop on him and slow him.
Yeah.
He does get pushed off most of this wave and does give a turret plate over to Camper on duty though. And it does look like they're starting up the Rift Herald right now.
Yeah, on the other side, it looks like
So-
Babbles wanted to go for a dive to make use of the fact that we saw the Iron top side. Habibi Puppy and Habibi King looking to maybe kill
It's good
Babbles
timing.
on the Krugs.
This is a really
He
good
doesn't
timing.
have... He has flash available, maybe he gets over the wall, but unfortunately is not able to.
It's unfortunate. His bottom lane didn't push out the wave, so when they were not able to help in time, too far away.
Can you click on Thresh? When is the Glacial Augment up?
Looks like it's
Up
already
now,
up.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like them to make a play with his timing. I know Kane will be back. I guess it's too late now.
Yeah, also
Syndra's
Ivern's on the
covering.
top side.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
really
Syndra's also
no-
covering for this play. No, I mean, there's a good timing. Just Syndra was covering for it. Kane's running back. Yeah, they knew about it.
Yeah, potential look here. Looks like no size matters. Lands the W and makes sure Hoptech can't go that way. And now we have Karmpa on duty with the chase. Hoptech flashes over, but it's followed by no size matters. Can he hit the laser? And he does get it. And Hoptech's taken down. Good trade on the side of Conjoined Twins.
And
Yeah.
hold on, Kane doesn't look like he can.
Oh,
get a
hold on
return
there. Looks
kill.
like we potentially have a 4-man mid. Euphonia is wanting to look with the ult. No size matter doesn't have the flash available. They're playing a bit slow, but we do land the casket. No size matters does get pushed right into the team. So that was a nice play by the side of two mid laners.
I think committing four people to this was a bit rough though.
Yeah,
She
wow.
doesn't get
Good
the kill
hope.
and she loses a lot on the bot side.
That is tragic. Hoptech TP's down there, but it was nicely timed by Habibi King. He ends up landing the hook into the Aphelios Q, into the Aphelios ult, and right now immediately he has to reset.
Yeah.
Looks like he's actually staying and he's going for the play. The hook barely misses, but Rags the boss, ults in. Habibi Puppy's gonna get taken down and they're gonna chase over Habibi King. Habibi King has the flash. One more auto available. Lands him through, but the Ivan shield just makes sure that he can't actually die. And we see the power of Ivan right there.
Yeah, so I don't think they knew or realized that the bot lane was down there because once the Syndra landed the stun, obviously he got jumped on by the Kaisa. And the Ivern was not in the correct place to make sure that doesn't happen. But other than that, yeah, it's quite unfortunate, I'd say, for Rags to Boss. That was almost a double kill.
I like the adaptation to the build paths here for both bot laners. I know both of these guys, both Rags the Boss and Baby Puppy, have been big Stormrager proponents for the past couple days, but I think they finally learned the error of their ways and switched to Kraken.
Yeah, gank in the mid lane. Babbles actually flashes forward to try to land on the W. Ults in early and looks like Babbles will end up securing the kill.
But suddenly a lot of action in the mid game.
Optech does also, as soon as he comes back, gets pushed down back to 20% HP, but I think he will be fine this time. But
Yeah.
still, not the.
We do have Herald being popped
it
on the
was a
bot
good
side. They're looking to take down this turret with, for some reason, it's going onto the Gragas here. Direct to camera, thank you. But they do end up taking down the turret on the bot side. But in the meanwhile, both Hoptech and Euphonia push in the mid and top side respectively.
Yeah.
Surprised the Ornn didn't stay for that wave to get his coal, or coal proc, but I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, they have the Mountain Dragon and Minnows. But maybe they'll be able to reset in time for it instead. But
The Herald
still,
timing-
yeah, Does look pretty good for blue team right here.
Yeah, they got a lot of out of the Herald. I think the Herald time is a little bit late, so Aphelios is not, not going to be able to swap top for plates. But, I mean, still in the end, a lot of gold and good cash injection, breaking bot tower as well.
Yeah, Conjoined Twins just looking to get mid priority right here. From there, they can just play as a group. And we have Ornn from the bot side, possibly looking for an ult to sandwich the team. And meanwhile, Hoptech's trying to fight back on the mid priority. And the rest of the team is actually securing, trying to secure that bush, make sure that they can't walk past down the river. Both teams kind of just standing off right here. We'll have to see what happens.
I like to highlight that Aphelios has blue ult. Ornn also has ultimate. Victor's still a little bit longer on the ultimate. So
Oh, BB King possibly getting combo. We see the Ornn ult in response immediately. We see Euphonia getting knocked up, but he actually lands a Cascade on Zone, separating the team. And we have Ornn going in, but critical. Euphonia lands the E to stopping the chain, but now he gets taken down after using that spell. Hoptech trying to run away and is able to do so. But Babbles is actually looking for more. He's chugging a Habib up B. He just needs one more W left.
Big hook by Habibi King there to ensure that
yeah, they're pressing strong, but huge hook onto Babbles inside the wall. Habibi Puppy getting that kill as well. Hoptech looking for more. But I think this is not actually doable. Camper on duty, trying to press them away. Rax the boss, trying to get into the Dragon Pit, but unfortunately can't. Hoptech getting stunned up. And now Camper on duty flashes forward. Camper on duty now chasing as the Ivern, but we have TP coming in to make sure that they can't get chased down. Jeez, that's a long fight, but might be actually going more. Okay, that'll be all.
Yeah, huge fight from Habibi King. He really hooked. He got able to continue the chase onto the Gragas and then followed it up by hooking the Kayn in the wall. Was really just able to seal that fight as a win for Conjoined Twins. Then also Camper on duty just standing in the front line, not being able to be killed. Big work there from the Ornn.
It also ends up being blue Kayn, and it also ends up being EP Ivern.
Yeah, when I saw the alternator, I was a bit confused, but yeah, AP Ivern,
a little bit extra damage. I think the shield is worse, I believe.
Oh, Euphonia potentially getting caught out here. He does use the E. He has to ult away to make sure he doesn't get hooked. Looks like that'll be all, but they do secure the priority onto the Herald.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, looks like Rug's the boss and Autumn trying to trade for mid turret. Touch if they can. At least get that mid wave in. Baby Puppy, nice job responding to that, making sure they don't actually lose anything off the Herald play. But looks like actually the side of TML, they're looking for more. BB King actually looking for the hook in, and Babbles responding to that is able to secure that. And with the actually Dust Blade is able to survive from the Victor ult. Oh, he's barely. Oh, Daisy actually slams him from the wall. Oh no. Oh, you hate to see it. He eat into the wall and Daisy slammed him down. Told him no.
Brought him back down to earth, yeah. That Ivern, I believe that was the Ivern shield pop, right? That like really chunked out the Gragas and the Kayn.
I mean,
right?
AP Ivern.
AP Ivern getting the first hit off, obviously, with...
I think the shield scaling isn't nearly as big, but I think the damage is definitely there. You can see it.
Yeah, Daisy is quite a menace, honestly. May as well be a champion. Nice Scatter of the Weak by Hoptech. Forces the cleanse out Habibi Papi, but it looks like they will just secure the turret anyways. And from here, I imagine they probably just reset with No Size Matter also getting the top lane turret. But yeah, full control from the side of Conjoined Twins.
I'd like to see where this Noon Quiver is going on Kaisa. I don't remember the exact build path for every item, but I don't remember what mythic builds out a Noon Quiver at this point. Is there one?
I am honestly confused with all the ADC items nowadays.
I knew before, but now I don't.
I think he's doing a see, Kaisa hasn't been patched yet, so her breakpoints are still a bit weird. He may be going Stormrazor after the Kraken Slayer, but that ends with no mythic for 3 items, which is still a bit difficult. I wonder where he's going with this.
Yeah,
Interesting.
curious too. I think the Kraken only gives you 40 AD, right?
Yeah, it only gives you 40 AD, and then you get what 10 or 20 for your base AD, so you're still quite far. Pickaxe, I think with the pickaxe he gets a completion here. Still not sure what it builds into though. New Quiver pickaxe.
Might be Gale Force.
Gale Force builds out of BF Sword Zeal. It's what
Oh,
I
you
thought he
are
was testing
right.
it
Yeah,
right
yeah, that was
now.
the old build path.
Yes, I'm gonna look up the build path. What is he building?
Yeah, but in the meanwhile, this game looks like Dragon is spawning in a minute. You see just both teams kind of flipping around the side
Magi picked
lanes.
up by Ivern.
Wow, that is.
He's gonna be very strong, Ivern.
Yeah, we'll have to see how next team fight plays out. Maybe he'll regret the Magi's pick, but considering his team's so far ahead, 7k gold up, I imagine it's probably a pretty good option.
Or maybe DZ just one-shots all. Who knows? I don't know what that champ can do, honestly.
Yeah, I think level 11 and Daisy gets a lot stronger.
Join
yeah,
Twins looking for a pick onto
yeah.
Euphonia once again, but he's actually, the ult lands this time. Insane hook onto
Over.
Babbles, and it looks like Babbles is forced to ult away, but I can't imagine he gets out of this one. He actually does get out of that one. Hoptech walking forward, trying to take down Hubi Puppy. With the grounded field, it actually makes him locked down. And no sides matter, takes that kill. Hubi King also looking for another hook. A bit ambitious, misses it, but I like the look. Yeah, that does secure them the dragon.
The Noon Quiver pickaxe builds into nothing.
So I'm guessing
Noon-
just getting it for the evolve then.
Yeah, Noon Quiver builds into Static Shiv and Storm Razor. So maybe it's a Static Shiv? I mean, that's pretty spicy.
Alright, looks like the side of Conjoined Twins, they're looking towards the mid lane, making sure they get that priority. And they're gonna go for a reset, probably play towards the Baron. But I will ask, considering the fact that looks like TML is down 8k gold, what are their options to get back into the game? How do we actually salvage this?
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to pick most of the members of CT here. I think the weakest, let's say, member in terms of getting caught out is going to be the Victor in the side lane. His hope if he gets caught out is he has his Zanyas and he has an Orm TP. And besides that, he doesn't really have any options, so I think that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, both the Victor and the Ivern have picked up the stopwatch.
They're actually looking to
For
commit onto
this
this
fight.
Karmp run
But
duty.
this could be their way forward, but he gets
Oh.
hooked, and that is turned bad real quick.
Yeah, and considering
that's
the fact
gonna
they
be
killed
start the
Babbles,
Baron.
that means they have no jungler. Conjoined Twins, 5-man onto the Baron. BB King going a bit over, trying to take the Blast Cone, but it doesn't actually get Blast Coned over. So that means that he gets it taken down. Oh, actually he's burying alive. Autumn actually getting killed over the wall. Daisy is slapping.
Daisy's good is going crazy.
Yeah, they're not actually looking at Daisy. Hoptech is also being taken down. They do secure the Baron with a
that
beat
was
Puppy,
very
surprisingly.
low.
That was close.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Rex
Oh,
the
God.
boss looking for more.
Champion.
Daisy, what the
They
hell?
gotta watch out for that. No, he's dead. He's dead.
Yo, is this champion okay?
Oh my god.
Okay, at the same
He's got
time, I
24
feel as though
stacks.
TML might be blind to Daisy. They just think the or what's it called? May as well be a champion. Doesn't do anything, but there's walking into a dying Babbles, just gets blown.
He's dead once again. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Daisy, especially with the Iron Shield on, with all the Night Harvester, I believe that item's called. That's gonna do a large chunk of damage, and a lot of people just do not seem to be expecting it. They just think Daisy's a normal golem, but she's a mighty powerful golem, and then yeah, he picks up the full completes his Zanya's here as a full Magi's. How much AP does he have right now?
Yeah, he's got 389 AP.
400. Okay.
Yeah,
How much
Take the
stat?
amount of
Can you see how much
damage.
stats Daisy will have? Or?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks
you
like
should click on
Daisy,
Ivern.
it doesn't show too much, but oh,
I
You
see.
shift.
around 3,000 HP.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
Slams her a lot. It looks like
yeah,
a joint
each
twins.
each auto attack does 300 damage, yeah. Okay.
That's pretty
Or
good.
Twice the Felia's damage, yeah. I mean,
Not
that's
bad,
fair,
not
keeps
bad.
balance, I mean.
Yeah, 25 stacks on the Magi's. I imagine he's just going to be feeling himself.
He's walking up to this cane like he doesn't care at all.
Yeah, Euphonia getting hooked in, and that means he's gone. And it's looking pretty grim for the side of TML. Can't imagine they can do that much here. The only thing I can imagine is maybe like a Syndra stun into a Nami bubble, into a Nami wave. I don't know, it's looking rough. But
Yeah,
Hoptech is
that's one
trying to
thing
make it
I'm
happen.
surprised isn't happened. Like they can just grab Daisy and then just kill it before it deals any damage, right? But
Oh, well,
okay, they listen.
yeah, Arnold
got hit
coming
by
in
he got
through,
hit
just
by the
makes
slow.
space. Hoptech actually getting knocked up, but huge scatter of the week, make sure he survives. Autumn, however, getting bursted down by the laser and the Victor ult, and that will mean that she falls down, and the Nexus Turret is starting to fall. Euphonia coming back up in time, potentially. Conjoined twins are all half HP, Habibi full HP, however. But we have to see if they make it
How does
happen.
Kai'Sa back to the back line? You need to see a scatter into Kai'Sa ult. There's like no other way.
There's no cask up for a couple more seconds.
Babel is getting Gravitum stun, means he dies immediately. And Habibi with a Gale Force forward, takes him away, Rags the boss, forced to flash away from the ult as well. I imagine that must probably be game. It's 3 people versus 5. We can see what they can do. Camper on duty. Euphonia flashes forward, but unfortunately is not able to get the prime targets. Habibi King flashes as well with the hook, but misses. Rags the boss tries to do what he can, takes 1 for 1. And that looks like that will be game. Autumn taken down under her Nexus turret. And that will just be the game. Congratulations to Conjoined Twins taking down 2 mid laners.
Honestly, yeah, very good game, especially from
Main game.
like no size matters. I don't know, he seemed to play fairly well. I mean, obviously control mage versus control mage, but it just seemed like he had a better coordination with his team that time. And Hoptech tried to look for some things in some side lanes, but I don't. It always just seemed like he was just a little damage too shy to actually get the kills, and always seemed to have somebody behind them.
I think with with maybe the exception of BB King getting caught 1 or 2 times, it basically was a perfect game. I mean, not perfect in terms of the scoreline, but as clean as you can really hope for, right? I think everyone played to their strengths. You know, Ornn scaled up on the top side, didn't give anything over, just absorbed all the pressure. Carper looked for what he could. Early game as Ivern and played with his ADC and mid laner afterwards, and ADC and mid lane did what they needed to do.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Would you say there were any MVP in this game that you would give it out to?
Daisy.
Daisy?
Yeah, I mean, I think Carper looked good. I think in the early game, Babbles was definitely putting a lot of pressure on him, and he kind of ran out of options, but he didn't lose his cool, and he, got back into the game. Definitely really good from him. My MVP probably goes to No Size Matters, honestly.
Really?
I think he played, yeah, I think he played really well. I think in the team fights, he looked like his positioning was quite good. I think in the early game, he had what I think it was a 25 CS lead, and he got 1 gank from Ivern, but I don't think it was really impactful. So it was like basically a solo 25 CS lead, with while also taking the scaling runes as we discussed in the pre-game. So I think he played really well.
Yeah, I'm finding it really difficult to actually who to give the MVP to on my side. Because I feel like everyone on the side of Conjoined Twins just played very well. Like we saw BB King making those plays early on with the flash hooks. Those hooks were critical to them getting a lead in the bot lane. Same with Habib Papi. Like you saw his mid game and late game team fighting, just being excelling over Rax the Boss. And then Carper on duty. I mean, Daisy speaks for himself, I think, or herself.
Yeah, they just played really well together. They seem to know that there's always just like someone behind them backing them up whenever like they got dove on by Kane or something like that, or got comboed by Syndra. There would always be someone that's looking and making sure that to ensure they don't die.
All right, well, I did ask for an interview, and it seems as they have elected to choose a BB King to join us. So I'll be moving him right on in. Welcome,
Welcome.
welcome. All right, Jacob. All right, first of all, how are your thoughts on the win? It's your first win of the tournament, right?
You saw my power rankings, then not much of a surprise, but still, so a win's a win. I'll take a win.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Would you say it was an easy win, or were you expecting a bit different result?
It honestly went better than we expected in terms of draft wise. I think they turbo griefed their draft and it made it really easy for us to pick and execute our draft, so it definitely helped.
Yeah, it makes sense. You guys first pick the Iron with the power pick, and then seem to get like a really solid bot lane matchup afterwards. Protecting could be Puppy, making sure he's feeling comfortable on the Aphelios.
Hmm. He doesn't have many champs, so making sure he gets one he's comfortable on is a key.
Jesus Christ.
Would you say there's anything your opponents did well that you thought they at least did all right in?
Um,
You shouldn't ask this question.
they they made it so we didn't get second rift.
Oh, that is decent, I guess.
That did happen.
Yeah,
The coveted second Rift Herald.
yeah, uh, yeah. They did that well. We definitely just didn't forget to pick it up.
Yeah, but you mentioned draft went exactly how you, I guess, or it went more ideal than you thought of.
Mhm.
I noticed that you did end up supporting Hubby Puppy a lot. You saw like the tank top lane, the supportive jungle, and obviously you have the Thresh Lantern, make sure he stays the way he is. Um, was that always kind of pre-planned, or?
Yeah, we thought we were gonna trade like Zeri Ivern or something like that. Since Rags the Boss is also pretty comfortable on Zeri, so we were ready to kind of give that up. But since they banned it and then they still had Ivern up, which Babbles also plays, we were just alright. We'll just pick it. And then we didn't expect them picking jungle and just blinding their top. We thought they'd blind their top on R3, so it just let us pick a pretty uh safe and blindable bot lane, and he also plays Aphelios, so we were able to get that away from him as well. And then they picked Nami on R3, which was interesting because we know they played Lucian Nami before, so then we just banned Lucian.
Yeah, makes sense. And can't go without talking about No Size Matters. So this guy, new to DMV. What are your thoughts on your new teammate?
Yeah, he's mechanically cracked. Uh, really diverse champ pool. Can play like the control mages as you've seen. Can also play like Akali, which got banned out. So I think it's really nice having a player like that being able to play a lot of different champions and makes drafting a lot easier.
Yeah, glad to see new faces as well. Chayman or Lyrax, any new questions?
I mean,
Huh?
my question, and although it's kind of selfish, I guess, is were you expecting to pick or ban four ADCs, five ADCs, and then like was that
Um,
what your idea going in, or just happened to be that way?
I mean, we were definitely expecting to ban two, uh, well, like an AD carry and a support.
Right.
But then after that, no. But since
Okay.
they just,
No, it just
yeah,
ended up being that way. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and just to wrap up, are there any teams you're looking forward to play? Obviously, this was your second game. Yesterday you faced against PPP, I believe.
hmm I think the game I'm most excited is against Cloudy's team.
Yeah, they're definitely
Sheesh.
looking like the favorites. Any reason why?
I think we got him solved.
Oh, really?
That's all,
Okay.
that's all I'll say.
All right, I'm excited to see that. All right, thank you for the interview and good luck on your rest of your
Get
matches.
revenge. Get revenge for Sunny,
Thank you.
please.
Yeah,
Take
we'll
revenge for
try.
Sunny,
We'll
please.
try.
All right,
All
sounds good. Thank you.
right. Thank you.
All right, we will be wrapping up, but that won't be it. At least tomorrow we'll have a massive day. You'll see FaZe once again casting, and we have a pretty long set of games starting at, I believe, 8 p.m. Wednesday will be a big day. We'll have 3 matches going into each other. It'll be starting off with Don't Wanna Gloat versus Platinum Players Poggies. So stay tuned for that. And obviously, if you haven't donated already, be sure to donate. We're always looking to make sure the prize pool goes up and goes back to the players. So, if you're feeling kind, please donate. We do appreciate it. And any closing remarks, James or Max, you want to make?
Oh
Make sure
no,
make
thanks
sure
for
you tune in
having me on.
tomorrow. I think I'm playing tomorrow. I'd love to see people watching that game.
All right, sounds good. That's a personal shout out there. All right,
Yeah.
see you tomorrow. This will be DMV Rivals Summer 2023. Thank you. Have a good one.